And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 2 of the MEA Prototype Challenge as we venture off at Monza for the second week out of 6. Tonight, we not only go into the racing scene, but we also look back onto someone that we have recently lost in the community, and we wanted to at least honor him. You might know him as the former name as FBR Yuna 90. Also, we have some of his friends and family with us here tonight, and just a lot to come. And first and foremost, William, the leader of FBR. William, we look back at the last couple of years here at MEA, and I know for you it was a lot more than just a couple of years. It seems to be a lifetime for some of you guys, and such a great guy. When he always showed up here at MEA, he was always with good spirits. He was a guy that you could talk to without thinking twice about it. Not only that, just a competitor. He wasn't a guy that you expected to go out there and win every week, but he just loved racing. He always made the most of every situation, and he would come last second, but he always made it fun, and just an easy guy to talk to. And it's definitely devastating, especially for the family, and obviously you guys that have been friends for such a long time. Um, you know, I remember the first time I had met Yuna, at least obviously through online gaming, and it was from your guys' race team. I remember back, one of your members had recently competed within our organization. And I remember Yuna sending me a message one time about the rules and liveries, and I remember sending him the exact information he asked, and about a day or two before the race he asked me again, and I said, you don't follow it very well, do you? He said, no, I forget, and I'm like, it's all good, and then he showed up for the race without his paint on that same week, and I'm like, I thought I just told you the other day. He said, well, I just forgot to put the paint on, but give me 2 minutes. So we were delayed almost 15 minutes to have Yuna come in, but that was the first of many moments that I could look back and say, wow, just a guy that never had anything bad to say, and not only that, just he always brought humor to any event. And Maniac, I know that you were very close to him as well, and I know that based off of everything I have heard and come through, I know you guys used to compete a lot together within the organization, but I also knew that you guys were really good friends, and take us through some of the memories that you've had with him, and things that you're never going to forget being such a good friend with him. Well, it, and for And for some of those that don't know, this is his wife, Jane. I don't know, Jane, did you have your audio on or not? But it's just there's a lot of obviously emotions going on in the current situation, which is life. We talked this week, and this is my first time ever getting to talk with you. Just nothing but good things to say about your husband and who he was. We look back. Paul was a father to three. Obviously, Jane being his wife, he also leaves behind his three kids, Molly, Robert, and Layla. His daughter Molly had sent us in some words that she wanted to look back on and just admiring her father for who he was, and her words were this, that he was just an amazing man, an amazing guy. He saw everyone who he raced with as a racing family, and for what's going on here tonight, he would have been so made up with all the races that were before or now that he would be chuffed to absolute bits with what we're doing here tonight. Also with that, Paul loved playing the guitar, and apparently he was very, very good at it. He was in a few bands in his younger years. He just loved spending time with us, which was him and his family. As he was a family man, they loved going down to the beach, just doing a lot of family stuff. He was a true family man. Everything he did was for his family, and that speaks volumes of the type of person he was. I was getting done talking to his wife earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, and I brought up how he used to always come late to every event, and she said that it was a lot of times it was because his daughter needed picked up somewhere or there was something going on, and he would drop everything for his family, and that's hard to come by in a lot in this day and age, so to speak, at a time where commitment and things like that are just harder for I would say the younger generation, and you look at someone like that who would give up everything for their family. It's hard to think what he left behind to be so little when it was just so great to so many others. I have in here his son Robert, and Robert, just make sure your audio's on. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Fear Ghost 616, which is his son Robert, will be competing into tonight's race. He'll be starting at the rear of the field with some other honoree drivers in this event. And Robert, if you don't mind taking the time to speak your mind about your father, what tonight is going to mean for you to race in a race that, means a lot to you, and anything that you may look back on as just being your father in, every aspect of your life. And I do have to apologize here real quick. It looks like your audio wasn't on, Robert. Do you have you have a moment to? We'll go back over it real quick again here. But if you go to your party settings, do you see a little checkbox up on your? Have you ticked it? Okay. So let's see here. Why aren't we? And I do have to. It could just be me, but let's go check on our Twitch settings. wasn't working. So I do apologize, Robert, if we didn't get that. But for those that may not have heard, Robert basically looking on back on his dad and just how great of a father figure he was. He was the reason why Robert got hooked into all the racing. And not only that, from a competitive standpoint, and just anybody that ever spoke about his father, would speak highly of him and never say anything that would be considered bad or worse. So Robert, we really appreciate the words that you have spoken. I really hate if it did not come up on the stream for everyone to hear, but nonetheless, tonight, Robert, you're going to be racing in the prototype challenge, and what's that going to mean for you tonight as you take this, take the stage and get to run in his honor? And it's always tough to do that under any circumstances when losing someone you love. And I can look back on losing my own father a long time ago, about 7 years ago. It seems so long ago now, and it's just always tough when you do things that they used to do or they used to love, and you look back on it, and all those great memories come about. So we'll be with you as you're on the racetrack, and we just hope that everything for you goes as smoothly as it can be. And for those that are just tuning in, we are currently 15 minutes away from tonight's race, but we're currently speaking on the recent passing of FVR Yuna, also known as Paul Doherty. I do apologize if I butchered the last name. But we just had his son also speak on, and so it looks like the stream stuff isn't coming through right now, so I'll have to figure that out. But he's very, very excited to be out there on the racetrack. It's going to mean a lot to him. It's going to mean a lot to the memories that they've cherished before and now, and we're going to be with him tonight as he takes that stage. Real quick here, guys, we're going to take a moment here. If you look at on my screen, we have the C9, which was one of his favorite cars, if not the favorite car. I do apologize. His favorite racetrack was the Bernese Alps, and his fastest time, if you can see it on the screen, was a 1:02.154. So something to look on that he accomplished, and something that he was very proud of, and his teammates were very proud of. Also assembling. And I do got to go back a little bit here as we talk about everything that's been put in for tonight's events in his honor. I want to thank the family, from Jane, his wife, to his kids. I want to thank all the drivers that'll be here tonight, his friends who are here with us, William, Willow, Maniac, and all the others that are either here listening or watching for tonight. It means a lot, and I want to thank those individuals for helping us get everything set up. Without them, without the approval of being able to do this, we obviously wouldn't be able to do this tonight. I believe former driver SSR Bobberts, also known as ESV Viper now, and my good friend Adam. I know that the audio on the stream is a little wanky right now, but I know you have some things you'd like to say about Yuna.
Yeah, I just want to say, Paul, he was just a genuine, down-to-earth guy. He's, through all the years that I do, I've been, helping you out with MEA and, doing simple little things like running qualifying. The one thing that I'll always stay in my mind and in my head is three simple little words. Was for every time I hosted a qualifying session, because I was generally the only Brit that did the qualifying sessions, I would do the sessions with him, and the three words that'll always stick to me at the end of every time, he'd always send it without fail, was "Thanks, Albeen."
Yeah.
The three simple little
His
words.
His favorite saying.
But they are three words that'll stick around me, for as long as I can remember, and that I'll cherish. So, it's very rare that you'll come across people that are always so kind and so considerate, even for just hosting a little qualifying session just so people can race. It's it touched my heart, and I just want to, it's something I'll cherish.
You know, you say that, Adam. I remember the first time he said that to me, and I told him, I said, that's an old saying, right? He said, well, I'm an older guy, I can say it. I said, all right, fair enough. I can't argue with those things, but definitely, it just comes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, the little things in life go a long way. People always remember the people that are, on top or doing so well in their life or whatever it may be. Others, you remember it's not always about those things. It's just about the little things in life. We talk about something such as, a little saying like, old bean, or just a touch of love in whatever way we can give it. Those are the things that people cherish, and, definitely him doing those little things just show you how much that people appreciate him, people remember him by, and the good things that they have to say for him. So we appreciate that, Bobbert, or I'm sorry, Adam. I'm going to say Adam because that's more formal.
Just one more thing I'd just like to say before I have to go and dive up, obviously, is, I want to thank, obviously, all the FIA guys, everyone turning up here. We're going to put on a great race, in memory of Paul, and I just hope that everyone, enjoys what we're going to do here tonight for him in his honour.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Well,
a big thank you from Maniac
appreciated.
as well, guys, for everything you've done.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you guys are here, and you guys can,
And also,
take in this moment with us.
We are running a FER drop-in lobby tomorrow evening as well, and you guys are more than welcome to drop in and come and race this track with us.
We appreciate that. We'll definitely consider it if I can make it without having to work. But I'll be more than happy to take a dive in if I can. But with that said, Viper, I know you need to go do some stuff. If anybody wants to come in, you let me know, and
I will do.
We'll bring him in. But we got about 11 minutes to the top of the hour as we continue to look back on the memories of FVR Yuna, also known as Paul Doherty. And guys, and anybody in here that wants to say on it, what was some of the, we just got done talking to you guys about some of the memories that you had with him, what he meant to you. Bobbert's brought up something that was kind of nice, something that you will always remember, and there's probably so many things for you guys to say that we can remember him for this or that. Is there one thing that you guys will just never forget that always comes off the top of your head when you look back on Yuna?
Personally,
I know, yeah.
Personally, he's just missed. He was, like I said, Maniac, Willow, Yuna. Within the first 6-12 months of starting the club got pretty big. And it was starting to get out of hand, and there was conflicts within the club, and these four guys stuck with me. Paul was always the calm to the storm. He'd mediate between people and try and keep it calm. Try and keep it organised, and it was very organised. He's always coming up with ideas for the club, and with lockdown and stuff, last year we spent a hell of a lot of time. That time we just can't get back no more.
Too long.
Yeah, we did. From 8:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night some days, we was on and racing and talking and laughing and joking. That's what I'll miss as well, just the laughs we had, and
And Jane, do you mind if I ask you a question?
No, not at all.
All right, and once again, Jane is the wife of Paul, and Jane, I want to say thank you to you, from me to you personally. Like I said, we hadn't gotten to ever really talk before, and obviously this is not the best way to obviously meet someone through someone, but you've been nothing but a pleasure this entire few days to help us get prepared for this. And I know that it's been a tough time for you, your family, and you guys have nothing but been wonderful working with us. And, for you, as a wife, I know we got to say some of the things that you had told me, but for you, just looking back on Paul and what he meant to you, and not just as a family man, but as a husband, what are the things that you're going to cherish the most for the rest of your life, and what you have cherished for the entire time together?
Um, Basically, just the whole 25 years of being with him. Like I said to you yourself, everything he ever did was for me and the kids, and it's he treated me like his queen, and it was just amazing. I know a lot of people say things about things like that when somebody passes away. Oh, what a great guy he was and everything. But I can honestly, hand on my heart, say he was. He was an amazing man.
Jane, I entirely agree with you.
I really appreciate you speaking out on that, and we all in life want to have someone as special as Paul. Doesn't matter however you want to look at it. We all want to have that in life, and I'm so glad that he was able to give you that, your family that, and just talking to you guys this week, it just showed how much he cared about you guys and how much you guys cared about him, and things like this. Just it's nice to have that closure sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to find that closure. But when you get people that come together and people that care, and just to see how close you guys are all together, the friends with the family, just as one, it comes to show you just how one person can combine so many people into something so beautiful, into something you can cherish for the rest of your lives. And I think that's something we can all take just from hearing all about this as just a tough time. For me, I heard about the news on Monday, and I was rather in shock. For the first time ever, as a gamer, as a esports competitor, organizer, however you want to look at it, I knew somebody that had passed away that I had some sort of connection to in some sort of way. And the first thing, I was in the middle of getting ready to do a qualifying session with our first group of qualifiers, and I couldn't initially do the quali. I had to take a minute. It was hard just to know, because people think you play video games with people, that there's no real relationship to anything of what you're doing. They just think, oh, it's just some random person, you're never going to meet them. People always act as if how can you be friends with someone you've never met? And I always tell people, well, it's the same thing as connecting with somebody in person. You make relationships, and I always think about some of the closest friends I've made in gaming. ESV Viper, considered one of my best friends. That guy does a lot for me as a friend, not only as a friend, but as someone that helps me with MEA, who used to be part of my race team as well. And obviously he moved on to do other things, and I always wonder what might happen to those friends that I never get to meet in real life. And my biggest fear is never hearing what happens, is just it ends, and and it's just it for me to hear about the news was hard, but to know about the news made me feel really good about knowing that person lived a good life with his family, his friends, and he didn't leave this planet without making a mark on it. And I think that's really important.
Exactly.
Yeah, ma'am, can I just say a couple of words quickly before you start? Just in case the viewers didn't hear before, a massive thank you from me and all the FPR guys for what you've done organising this. Yuna absolutely loved MEA. It gave him focus, and he practiced and practiced and practiced, and you saw that, and yeah.
And I completely agree with you, and I'm glad that you guys are here with us here today on this day. And for those that are still with us, I see that we've had almost 20 plus people on this stream this entire time. Thank you guys for showing up, and thank you for listening into the friends and family honoring FVR Yuna tonight. It's not over yet. We have upcoming moment of silence. We will have an initial pace lap with the friends, his son also, who will be competing tonight. They're going to be doing a pace lap separate from the field, and we're just going to continue to honor him throughout the race as these drivers show up in the race lobby, whether they are wearing the FVR wheels, which we got to appreciate Wheels for doing tonight, the tribute scheme to the Audi, as you guys can see here, or the drivers just changing the number on the car. And so far I see everybody pulling up the paint that Wheels has created for tonight's event, so that's always nice to see. So we got a lot of stuff still to come. Tonight is not just a race amongst competitors. Tonight is a race that we carry with FVR Yuna along every single car tonight, as number 90 will represent everything he was, everything he is, and everything he will forever be here within MEA, and to the competitors that have competed or have known him. So as we prepare for tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to the friends and family of Paul Doherty, which are FVR William the One, FVR Willow, Willow, I do apologize. Is there anything that you would like to say tonight before you head into the race?
No, I think everything's been said. I think it's all been said. But cheers for.
I just want to make sure you had a
everything.
chance to speak.
Yeah.
And Fear Ghost, Robert, who is his son, his wife, who is currently under his own gamer tag, FVR Yuna 90. I want to say thank you to all of you guys, Maniac. Anybody that has known him, has been a part of this week preparing, or has had any association with him, thank you all for showing up during this last half hour, and plenty more to come. So thank all of you guys.
Let's do this, Yuna.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And with that being said, we will get ready to go racing here momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a few minutes. We do need to get some of these drivers into the race lobby at this time, which will be Willow and Ghost. And then also tonight, Maniac will be the pace car for the first two pace laps of the race under the C9, which was Yuna's favorite car, as he has designed a special tribute paint to Yuna. And momentarily, we will get things ready to go. I want to say again, thank you guys for all being here. And just give us a few minutes. We will get things ready to go and get going momentarily. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the race lobby set up here momentarily. As we get everybody set up, there will be a moment of silence prior to the race as the drivers will load in onto the racetrack. They will sit tight as we honor Yuna. In a moment of silence, we will then take the honoree pace lap and then the following pace lap to go racing, so just stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like we got pretty much everybody into the race lobby at this time. We're going to give one driver a chance to catch up. And then we'll begin the rest of our festivities here tonight. And it looks like every driver, ladies and gentlemen, has that on their car, and that's such an awesome tribute and honor to see as we get ready to go here. All right, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I will ask all the drivers inside their race party, myself included, and anybody at home that is watching from afar, please, at this time, as we load the drivers into the racetrack, for a moment of silence of Paul Doherty, also known as FVR Yuna 90, as we wish him nothing but the best, as life sometimes has to move on. Please remain quiet as the drivers will sit put on the racetrack prior to tonight's pace laps. And at this time, we will begin the tribute lap that the 4 or 5 drivers up front will get together. They were friends and family of FVR Yuna, as they will honor him being alone at the front. As you see, FVR Maniac will be our pace car tonight in the C9 that FVR Yuna loved and was his favorite car all around the Forza community. And out of all the cars in the field tonight, you'll see the green car, Fear Ghost 616. He is the son of Paul Doherty, racing in his honor tonight in his first ever MEA event. We're so glad to have him a part of this race, as he runs alongside FVR Willow, FVR William the One, and obviously FVR MX-5 Maniac. As all these drivers have had some part of Yuna's life that Yuna has impacted for such a long time. The rest of the field will pace slowly behind them from afar. The first time of my career as an esports organization, and not only that, as a commentator, I have never seen so many drivers, fans, and competitors all wear the same designs in honoring someone that, though they may not have known, or they may have known for a very long time and well, just to give the man respect. I truly believe within the Forza community, we are rather closer than people think. A lot of times it can get very hectic. A lot of times people do fight. But when it matters most, we all will come together and we'll take care of what we need to take care of. As you see, the special livery design of the C9 pace car, driven by FVR Maniac. I'm honored to be a part of this tonight, and it's nice to know that we can look back on somebody that's just impacted so many people. As you see the race drivers from behind in the second group of cars, they will come up behind the paced car as they get to the end of this corner. And with that being said, they will now line up as expected. And for tonight's starting lineup, ladies and gentlemen, and one of the most powerful things I've ever done here at MEA, as some of these drivers have ever done here at MEA, honoring one person. And not only that, just look how powerful this is, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I've never seen so many people come together for anything. Every car in tribute to FVR Yuna tonight. It is really, really special. It's awesome to see so many people here tonight watching in. Let's hope this can be one of the most memorable races here at MEA that we've seen in quite a long time. In the starting lineup, however, it's ESV Varcode alongside him, Forza Europa in the second spot. In the second row, it's AMS Supreme alongside his teammate AMS Tsunami. In the third row, it's ESV Viper alongside AMS Turismo. In the fourth row, it's ESV Mashis alongside SMX Fimo Racing. In the fifth row, it's SMX J Yankee alongside SMX Saboteur. Following behind them is SSR Brentwood alongside DBO Dr. Quinn. Rounding out the field in the back group is Mr. Allen Toast and SSR Merxy. SMX Galaxy right behind them, and FVR Willow, one of the honorary drivers here tonight, alongside Fear Ghost 616 and FVR William, the one who will be pulling off the racetrack. That'll give us 17 drivers on the racetrack as we begin tonight's racing action here at Monza. And I want to take a nice look one more time at the Sun, Fear Ghost. He will be the only driver in the field as, where is he at? Oh, he's parked off the racetrack. Not sure what Fear Ghost is doing, but we'll work with it. So maybe he's pulling off to the side. And just so, ladies and gentlemen, you know, also here tonight, I will have a special commentary alongside me, broadcaster FVR William the One, as he starts to come in here with me. And we'll get him in here momentarily as he's part of the other party, just making sure that everything went well for them. We have about 30 people watching. This is the most viewed event of the series so far. Last week we averaged around 20. Glad to have everybody here tonight as so many orange cars on the racetrack. As you see, Fear Ghost has already taken off the Sun in his first ever league race. He's already at it. It's ESV Barcode, Forza Europa, last week's 1 and 2. Can Europa come back and pick up a race win here tonight at Monza? We're about to find out as 17 number 90s on the racetrack. This one's for you, FVR Yuna. We miss you. We wish you were here racing with us. But we're here tonight, and you're with every single one. But it's Green Flag Racing here at Monza. And ESV Barco gets off to a good lead in turn number 1. Your Forza Europa right behind him with AMS Supreme to follow. They head into the first chicane of the race. As everyone tries to get through, all the orange looks like to get through nice and safe, but it looks like FVR William the One has actually just got out of the racetrack. And William, I know that you're in here, go ahead and bring up, and so did Maniac. So the 17 drivers on the racetrack are on the track. And William, make sure that your audio is checked off. But William, we got one going here now, and ESV Barcode leads the way.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
And I'll fix that. So here we go as ESV Barcode gets a little squiggly through the Scari's section. Let's go further back into the race pack now. And William, what a great moment to have all you guys out there on the track together. And that, I wish I was out there with you guys. But,
that was an amazing sight to see. Just the amount of respect that every driver's shown. FVR Yuna on track, with his colour, with his number. It's very, quite emotional, to be quite honest. Quite emotional.
And I tell you what, I felt every bit of it from over here, and it's just so powerful seeing all of these cars on the racetrack tonight.
The whole lap there was just I had goosebumps. It was a sight.
Well,
to
here
see.
we are. Well, here we are, and the sight to see is still the sight to see. You see all the orange on the racetrack, all the number 90s. I know that Fear Ghost started way behind everybody. I'm not sure what all was going down there, but I know he's on the track running right now, and we go further back. Let's take a look at Fear Ghost, and he's the only driver that is a little different from the racetrack, and we're going to ride with him for a lap, William, as it's always cool to see family take part of anything.
Yep, doing his dad proud. Absolutely.
And you see Fear Ghost right here, also known as Robert, and you know, I give him a lot of kudos to do what he's doing right now, and it's not easy losing someone you love, and not only that, you know, racing in something that he loved, you know, that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, funnily enough, 2 days after he came on the game, he went on to his dad's favourite track and he beat his dad's time. So he's actually above his father on the leaderboards now. So that's just,
I
honourable
gotta
to
ask
his
you,
dad.
future FVR member?
Definitely. And his youngest daughter seems to be interested as well.
Oh well,
Well, the
hey,
Halo, yeah.
that's really cool, and just it's pretty awesome. And I know everyone that's watching is ready to see the racing on the action, but it's so cool to see his son out here racing. And when we were talking to him, I know that for some reason we weren't getting his audio. I did my best to translate all that for him, but you could just hear how passionate he was, William, about running into the night's race in honor of his dad. And you can really feel it, and it just by him talking, there's a lot of emotion there.
Yeah, I mean, as a club, we were close. We were friends. And Robert knows that. He knows how much his dad used to enjoy coming on the game and playing the game. Collaborating with his team members and progressing. This was the first Forza that Yuna had played. He'd never played. I mean, previously I played Forza 3 and 4 and came back on 7, and that was his first one. And I knew it on, I could tell on track the type of person he was, which you do yourself. He had track etiquette. It was fast. It was fast for a beginner, and I cottoned on to that. And then obviously you start talking with the person and build up friendships, and I surrounded each and every one of them with good guys. I had a good team, a good club.
Well, it looks like he got a little bit into the sand there, and hopefully avoiding all the carnage that just is going by him at this time. As he came back on the racetrack and hit the wall a little bit, but looks like he sat put and made sure everyone got around safely. So he knows good racing etiquette and when to rejoin the racetrack, as he was trying to track down Mr. Alan Toasty there.
Yeah, I mean, some people have it and some people don't. At the end of the day, as yourself running the club yourself, you notice stuff like that on the track. You notice people have track etiquette and they're respectful, and Yuna was, and it's obviously translated down to his son as well.
Well, nonetheless, looks like he's got quite a bit of damage on that car. He's trying to limp it around the racetrack, so hopefully he can get in that pit and get things squared off as we hop on with the third place driver, AMS Tsunami, who's in the middle of defending AMS Turismo, his teammate, as ESV Mashis moves into the top 5. ESV Viper has fallen back, and ESV Barcode as well. I'm not sure what happened to Barcode. I think he messed up in Ascari, but I could be completely wrong. Obviously, he's going to do everything he can to avoid any type of accidents as they start to roll up on him again. Right now, Forza Europa is your race leader. He's got quite a bit of a gap. You see Fear Ghost right there, just staying out of the way, doing a good job at it. As much as we can ask him to do on the racetrack. You said he was a beginner and he just hopped in and setting faster times than his father, William.
He was, yes. Yeah, I mean, he came on the game a couple of weeks ago and jumped on and raced his dad's favourite track, and he bet his father's time. So, I mean, that alone, and I know that his dad, Yuna, put a lot of hours into getting the times that he did. He was dedicated to getting up there into the top 10s, which he did. I think it was a top 5 time. And he was proud. I was proud of him. We all was. I think we actually went and tried to beat him and we couldn't. So that's just testament to the dedication that he did have. He wanted to.
And right now, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, obviously we race against other clubs, and we all like to get the leaderboard times, and he was dedicated to it.
Nonetheless, he's out there doing a great job, and I know that he had a little bit of a hiccup, but he's almost to the pits, and that's a good place to be when you're that damaged up. Meanwhile, we've had some really interesting battles on the racetrack. We had the AMS drivers battling with one another. We also had the ESV drivers, all three of them duking it out for the 5th spot. ESV Barcode, William. Oh, but Viper clips the rear quarter panel of his car, able to hang on. They're going through a scar and having all sorts of problems. And talk about a quick moment right there, and you know, FBR is known for their prototype driving, and this was the very first series you guys entered back, what 2019,
Yep.
I believe, and I believe they all started with Brentwood. Brentwood joined in and then got you guys in, and we had a week where we had about 6 or 7 of you guys show up, Yuna being one of those drivers as well. You know, it's been about, what, a year since the last time we've seen one of you guys here, but we know that a couple of the other drivers, Jamster, Maniac for a while as well, they would show up pretty regularly. You guys kind of been a regular here at MEA for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's a well organized, you know, organisation at MEA. You know, we was honoured to be asked, you know, as a club to come and race with you guys. And Brentwood, you know, Brentwood did, got sliders in here and get us involved with it. Because you know, we have, you know, 10 regular guys within the club there, or more that, you know, want to race. You know, they want to, you know, get the times and the lap times and compete with you guys. You know, you've got the pleasure.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you guys part of MEA as long as you guys have been here. Yuna was another one who would show up every single event almost. He at least made one, it seemed. If he wasn't going to make the full series, he always made at least one.
Yeah, he enjoyed it. I mean, you know yourself, home life and stuff like that, sometimes you can't. You know, but the times where he had the time to dedicate to it, he did. And him and Jamster, you know, they were probably main two out of the club that really got into it. They enjoyed it. And was waiting for the next one. You know, he would have been here tonight. He would have been here tonight.
We know that he would be here as well. He was always a big time competitor in the prototypes.
Yeah, he's here in spirit, definitely.
Oh yeah, and you can see it all over the racetrack. He's with us tonight in every way, shape, and form, and there's no other way to say it. So, though he may not be out here physically running, he's out there in spirit, and you know, well, he's riding with his son right now and trying to teach him everything he knows.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
yeah, it's an amazing sight to see his colour and his number, and you know, once again, you know, I'm really appreciative of yourself getting together with all the guys that are in the MEA league, and showing the respect that you've shown Paul and his family and our club, and we'll be forever grateful for you doing this. You've gone above and beyond.
We're very grateful to have you guys be part of every bit of this, and like I said earlier in the show, to the family members, to the friends, to everyone that's been involved, and you know, I got to thank all the drivers on the racetrack. I mean, I did not expect everybody to be running that paint here tonight. I had a feeling a few would, but when I saw everybody show up in that orange scheme, I was like, wow.
When I was at the front looking back, I was in the track with Jane and Robert and Maniac and Willow, and I was like, that's just an amazing sight to see. It was.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see when people come together, and even people that don't, know, those things go such a long way.
That's just respect. That's just respect for another driver, which,
Well, right now we have a battle for the second spot, as AMS Tsunami has recently taken over the second spot from AMS Suprema's teammate. They also have AMS Turismo not too far behind them. 3 team drivers. But Supreme clips the outside of the sand right there, and that should bring Turismo right up to his rear bumper. Meanwhile, ESV Barcode not too far behind them, with ESV Machis and ESV Viper following suit. And right now, the battle on the racetrack is ESV against the AMS guys, but not only that, Lone Wolf Forza Europa still out there. Currently your race leaders. We hop on with him real quick to see where he is on the racetrack. Last week, this was a different story, William, as they raced at Le Mans, and Well, Forza Europa was on the attacking end for the entire race. This time, he's all by himself. And ESV Barcode must have made some sort of mistake, you know, right prior to the hairpin on the final corner of the racetrack. So Europa with no concern whatsoever out there, but a lot of racing to go. ESV Barcode has recently just passed AMS Supreme. It looks like Supreme making a little bit of too many mistakes out there and might have had some help, as Barcode is actually already up to the rear bumper of AMS Turismo. So some pretty interesting things going on the racetrack, William.
Yeah, sure, man.
We go further back and take a look. There's a battle, looks like, for the 12th and 13th spot as we hop on board with SSR Merxy. Merxy, who wasn't expecting the race this series. He signed up, said he wasn't able to run, and right now in the top 12, outside the top 10, he's battling with DBO Dr. Quinn. He's in the car for the first time here today, and doing some battling. So, oh, but he gets loose. He almost loses the car completely. DBO Dr. Quinn to the inside. They go side by side under the Xbox bridge there, and they're going to head into the corner, but does DBO Dr. Quinn got the run? It doesn't look like that. It looks like he lays off a little bit as he goes into the turn. He goes underneath to the inside. Now Dr. Quinn going side by side with SSR Merxy. They come around the corner. Merxy says, not today, my friend. He'll stay right in front of Dr. Quinn. Keep an eye on them throughout this race. We go further up into the race pack again. We'll hop on with AMS Turismo. He's currently defending off ESV Barcode. And Barcode's still not able to get around him just yet. Their teammate of AMS, AMS Tsunami, he's currently trying to track down the race leader right now, which is Forza Europa, but Turismo clips the sand, and ESV Barcode to the inside, side by side, going into the corner. They touch, they bang, but they don't hit the sand, and we'll hop on board during this battle, as Turismo got the advantage once again. They're still duking it out for the third spot. Turn one, and for some of you guys that haven't noticed, we took out, you probably noticed, this track's well known for its first chicane and its horrible problems. We took it out because this series, obviously, we've all seen the racetracks the last 4 or 5 years. We wanted to mix it up a little bit. We got fast cars. We wanted to give them some speed and have them try to work on a little bit more of a braking tactic, so to speak. I know that the track loses a little technicality, but when you put a different version of the racetrack in that they're used to, a lot of times they're not really ready for it during race time, so it's been really interesting to watch. You see ESV Viper get by ESV Mosh for the 5th spot, 2 teammates duking it out behind them. Mr. Alan Toasty, he's a lap down at this time, but still currently 16th. Fear Ghost is all by himself back there in the 17th spot, a couple laps down, nothing to be worried about. Out there having a good time and just running, like we said, in his father's honor throughout this race. So we'll keep an eye on Fear Ghost, just check on him, see how he's doing. Got 16th spot, Mr. Alan Toasty right behind him. Toasty goes to the inside, trying to avoid. Look at that, able to hang on to that line. Great job by Fear Ghost. Oh, but ESV Barcode gets to the inside. Got a little bit better run as he caught up to Fear Ghost there. And that didn't probably mean to catch him like that, but he's on a mission right now, trying to track back into the top 2. As you see, it's VMOS. He's having to hit the brakes hard there, but able to avoid Fear Ghost. Fear Ghost tries to get right out of the way. Doing a great job at that, so good job to him. And, you know, we talked about him running for the first time and getting used to the car. He's doing a fantastic job avoiding, you know, all the carnage, all the traffic, and just, you know, kudos to this young man as he's out there. Those that are just tuning in, Fear Ghost is the son of FVR Yuna, who we honor here tonight as all the drivers on the racetrack drive the FVR Wheels tribute paint, running the number 90 alongside the car, as you guys can see right here. Every driver in it, every driver representing, and every driver doing something that means a lot to some other people, and you know, on this planet who are hurting, healing from that. And for the moment, we're taking a break from William. He'll come back near the end of the race. It was just so awesome today to have a family of friends prior to this race, to be able to speak to them about Yuna, and so many kind things that were said. We got ready for this race, and it looks like the battling, ladies and gentlemen, is mainly through the mid-pack right now. It looks like we do have a little bit of a battle going on back here around 9th, 10th, and 11th. Let's take a look at that. We're riding with SSR Brentwood. He's got Fimo Racing and SMX Sabotage. So a couple of the SMX drivers right between Brentwood. Brentwood came into this race as he was very, very ill. Is not feeling great, can't speak at this time, but didn't want to miss this race for his good friend Yuna. And for those that don't know, Brentwood was part of the FVR team for a couple of years, and made the switch over to SSR, but never lost touch with his good friends that got him started to where he is today. There's just so many people out here that are hurting, and it looks like we're losing a driver. A disconnect has happened, and it was doing such a great job not having that issue. Maybe, maybe not. We're about to find out. And it is SSR Merxies. Looks like he might have disconnected. Not 100% positive. As the three drivers catch up to Fear Ghost, they're all going to go to the inside. Fear Ghost brakes early. Good job by the young man. This battle's still alive between 9th and 11th now. Brentwood trying to figure something out with SMX Sabotage. Sabotage and SMX Fimo Racing, they were a little bit further up front, but have been kind of slowly creeping back just a couple positions prior to the start of this race. We're at lap 17 of 40 right now. 38 laps in total for today's race. Brentwood gets a little bit loose through there. Looks like Merxie having technical issues with his controller, but nonetheless, we were glad to see Merxie out on the racetrack. You see Fimo Racing go to the inside of Brentwood. They almost touch, but they come back onto the track side by side on the straightaway. A good battle here for the 9th and 10th spot, or I'm sorry, 10th and 11th spot. Oh, they're still side by side. Fimo almost got really loose. It looked like they were going to wreck there, but no harm, no foul to the drivers. Fimo get a little bit too fast going in, but Salvatore clips the sand. Brentwood goes to the inside, so does Fimo Racing. They go side by side, but Salvatore lays off just a little bit. Now he goes back to the inside of Fimo. As we get on there, oh, I was just about to get on the rear view as Sabotage got too loose entering that corner. Another driver we want knowledge here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Driving in position, Willow. Driver here tonight wanted to race in this event in honor of Yuna, out there for the FVR boys, alongside his son, or I should say Yuna's son, Fear Ghost. Glad to have them out here, and like I said, it's a tough time for some friends and certain family members, or all the family members, I should say, going through this time. As we hop back on to the third place battle with AMS Turismo and ESV Barcode, and this battle is really heating up a little bit because ESV Viper is caught up to him. Barcode looks to the inside again. They go side by side into the corner. Oh, but Turismo almost got too wide, but was able to hang on. They're still side by side. It looks like Barcode either laid off because of the hit, or Turismo just faster on the straightaway and got a faster run. But ESV Viper now into the picture, back to the top 5 where he started. And you gotta think right now, we look at these drivers as they're competing with each other, but when I look at these cars, I see Yuna racing with Yuna, as every car on that racetrack represents him. As these two still duke it out, Barcode getting a good run, and he might get it this time. Turismo losing an inch by inch here. And Barcode gets him clear. Can Turismo do something else, or is he going to have to start fending off Viper? Last week, Turismo, part of that devastating lap 1 accident. And that was quite the mess that everyone was in. It started with Supreme. Supreme had some really tough problems early, but nonetheless, they all come back at it again, and that's what mostly matters here, as we're going to find out what Barcode has under the hood if he can get away from Turismo and Viper. Barcode was the fastest in qualifying, was last week's winner. Oh, but Turismo hits the backside of a Barcode, gets a little too deep too early. That kind of gave Barcode a chance to get further away from him. Viper, however, being patient, waiting for the right opportunity to pounce. Just tuning in, or is this your first time watching? This is the MEA Week 2 Prototype Challenge, as we have done a special event for today. As you see, SMX Female Racing, it looks like about to, or no, that's Galaxy X. He's about to go. Ooh, not sure what just happened. And it looks like Barcode got into Fimo real hard. Not exactly sure what the cause of that was, and boy oh boy, I wonder if Barcode has damage from that. He does, he has quite a bit of damage, and it's not a horrible time to pit because he is getting close to the fuel mileage, but definitely unfortunate. As we're gonna go back in time a little bit. I'm not sure what the cause of that was, ladies and gentlemen. I just assumed that Galaxy got broke earlier than expected, and it just happened to prize Barcode. So that was a tough scenario. Meanwhile, as we hop back on to Fimo, Brentwood's not too far behind him. He's caught up to Mr. Alan Toasty, but Fimo's getting loose off the corner and just drifting around the edge. Barra would go to the inside, and, well, Fimo cuts him off almost. As we got pit stops taking effect at this time, we'll hop on with AMS Tsunami. And he's just chilling by himself as he tracks down Forza Europa, who's not too far in front of him. You see here on the race map, a lot of pit stops are in effect at this time, so we're seeing different things here. As we hop back on to a battle between Turismo and Viper, and Viper able to get in front of him. looks like Viper is going to be able to get away from Turismo. Tsunami has elected to stay out for another lap. He'll get at least the lead for a little bit as he runs down to 3% fuel. So this lap, Tsunami should enter the pits. Looks like Brentwood stayed out on the track too. So Brentwood's out there running that extra lap. Let's hop on with Brett. So Brett should also be making the pit at this time. If you're just tuning in, ESV Barcode at the beginning of this race had some early troubles, which sent him back some positions. And it looks like he's having troubles again. He's all the way back to the 7th spot now. As Supreme's in front of him, I'm not sure. Maybe Supreme has a pit, or maybe something else happened. Something else definitely happened. So we do have a 2-car battle between Savitar and Dr. Quinn. We're going to hop on with them momentarily as these leaders kind of balance out a little bit from where they started, as they're starting to get a little more single file-ish. And here comes Dr. Quinn looking to make a move on Savitar. They're starting to catch up to Brentwood, so we're going to see that 3-car battle brewing once again. Mr. Alan Toasty, he's about a lap or 2 down, so he's not going to be really much of an issue to deal with, or at least he shouldn't be. But if they keep battling as hard as they can, that might just happen. Savitar's still able to hang on to that position, but Dr. Quinn's really pushing it, really trying to find a way to get to him. We're going to see what Dr. Quinn's got in his bag of tricks right now. Ooh, he gets a little bit on that brake. They're also catching up to Brentwood, which is kind of interesting to see, as being Brentwood by himself, not really having the battle. Mr. Alan Toasty as well. It looks like he's catching up too. So I might have been wrong about him from the start. field. Just like that, Dr. Quinn having a little bit of a hiccup there. And you'll have the lap down driver, Mr. Alan Toasty. So that ends that feud. As we go back up through the field, you see all the drivers pretty much spread out. Well, Brentwood's got caught up by Savitar, so now we can hop back onto that battle, but Savitar looks like he's trying to make quick work of Brentwood. Brentwood trying to stay within the top 10. And whoa! Savitar. Oh. He also had problems, and that's definitely going to let Dr. Quinn go by with Mr. Alan Toasty. So these guys in the back having some difficulties. Let's hop on with the race leader at Forza Europa. You know, we talked about last week, he hasn't been in action in MEA since the second series of the Prototype Challenge. So it's been about 2 years since we've seen Europa here at Racing Action, going for his first ever MEA championship. And not only that, he's also trying to beat the man with the fastest lap in qualifying, ESV Barcode, who's had nothing but problems since the start of this race. As 13 drivers remain on the lead lap as he's catching up to FVR Willow. So as he does that, we're going to go further back. Let's go through the field, ladies and gentlemen, and see how everybody is doing on the racetrack. As AMS Tsunami, he's, you know, just like last week, running his own race, kept out of trouble, basically just doing his own thing. Last week went from 15th to 4th. Actually, I believe he finished 3rd. I do apologize. Talk about a drive. Tonight, qualified better and is up front where he needs to be, as he's trying to go after his first championship in MEA, and not only that, his first time here in the MEA series. Behind him, ESV Viper, running 3rd right now, and I believe he's pretty much well clear of Turismo and is former champion here, not in the Prototype series, but in other events. Behind him, first-time driver, Amos Turismo, here at MEA, and if he's raced before, well, it's been a long time. And there's Fear Ghost, the son of Paul, out there representing for his father in the green number 90 machine. AMS Supreme just got by him, and for the most part, these drivers have been doing a fantastic job at avoiding lap traffic, and not only that, lap traffic doing a great job at avoiding them. As AMS Supreme trying to track down his teammate, ESV Barcode, doing everything he can to rebound from early mistakes, as he's currently in the 6th spot, not a place he's probably used to being in, as he's just trying to track down the top 5. ESV Mosh is his teammate. Not really where we're used to seeing him from the first week. He was up there battling in the top 5 for the longest time, currently outside the top 5, running in that 7th position, trying to catch up to his teammates and make something happen here. Inside the top 10, SMXJ Yankee. He's not someone that we're unfamiliar with, has always shown speed in the past events. Currently running in that 8th spot. In the 9th spot, his teammate SMX Fimo Racing. Last week showed he had a little bit of pace. Finished, I believe, 6th in that race. Running all alone in the cold outside world. Currently inside the top 10. And not anymore, battling once again. I thought this battle was dead, but it's rejuvenated, and we got a battle between 10th between Dr. Quinn, Brentwood, and Savitar. I don't know if I want to leave this yet. We hopped on to the battle. Brentwood retaking position. You can see the differences in tunes. Some people got a more design for grippier and some got better on that speed game as Savitar gets to the rear bumper of Dr. Quinn on a late braking point. Mr. Alan Toasty just chilling there, having early problems. He's got some pace, just hasn't been able to put it all together. And Dr. Quinn throwing the car out wide there, coming off the corner. Talk about a scary moment. Just you never know what might happen. These cars are really finicky. Almost any prototype I've ever driven personally, it's finicky, but I'm sure some of you would say differently. All I know is that that car touches and starts going sideways, and you're on sim steering, you're not going to see it ever return. So it gets pretty sketchy at times. 10 laps to go, and we still got a battle brewing here. Let's go further back behind these guys. FVR Willow recently gone a lap down, and just got passed by the third place car of ESV Viper. And then Mr. Alan Toasty, we've seen him. He was chilling behind them. Might have made a mistake there. They're still going at it. And XMX Fimo Racing having problems, and he goes back to the 12th spot now. And they're rounding out the 15 car field. It's Fear Ghost, just chilling there. And oh, he's out of harm's way, and that's good enough for us. It's kind of a cool view when you see it. I think he's just admiring all the cars that are coming by. He's got full damage, so that makes sense. So never mind the admiring part. But we're going to hop back onto the racing battle, and it looks like he's going to come off the racetrack and call it a day, it looks like, as I just want to give a big shout out to Fear Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. For those that don't know, or those that are just tuning in today, we honored Robert's father, who was Fear Ghost's father. FVR Yuna had recently had passed away this past week, and we started today's stream with his friends, his family, talking about in the memories of Yuna, Paul Doherty. And it was a great moment to speak to his family, his son. And it was just an honor to have all them here. Not only that, an honor to have his son out on the racetrack in his father's memory. You know, words don't describe how special that is for me to be a part of this, for the MEA squad to be a part of this, as Dr. Quinn says, hide in the sand there. As we'll go further up the racetrack, let's hop back on with ESV Barcode. But for me, this was a big day. This was a big day to a lot of people. It meant a lot to a lot of people. You see every driver out there on the racetrack driving, representing the number 90 orange paint scheme. And what is going on here? What is going on here? Something interesting. Well, we'll have to take a look at that. I know for some of you that's interesting. Not sure what happened there at all, but that's not going to take away from what we were talking about. Today's just a special day to honor somebody that was part of the Forza community, that was well known to many, that impacted not just his family, but to many around him, and it was all around a special person. And it's just great to see the whole field showed up today in the tribute car, and we were really proud to see all those drivers do that. As Forza Europa looking to get his first win on the season. Barcode has got inside the top 5. It definitely has something to do with Fimo and Supreme getting contacted, and I'm gonna hop on that because I need to know what's going on here. That was a bit, it just looked malicious. It looked like he intentionally ran into Supreme we'll have to keep an eye on these drivers and see what's going on, because that is definitely something we do not tolerate here at MEA by any means, of any sort of retaliation or any sort of intentional wrecking. So not accusing it, but that's what it looked like, and that's something to possibly look into. But we're back at it here as we got the 8th and 9th battle between, well, it was a battle between Savitar and Brentwood. It's been on and off throughout this race, so we'll see if they come back together. For the most part, when you look at the race map, it's pretty spread out amongst the drivers. And with whatever incident happened to Supreme, he has dropped back to the 11th spot. So just going through the field here. If you guys are in here, who do you want me to sit on here? There's not really much battles going on. There is lap traffic going on. I mean, that is something to look at, as Willow letting Moshes on by. So letting the leaders go on through. And Supreme's actually about to go a lap down. If Europa can get to him, Supreme set one of the top fastest times. Has had nothing but problems all race long. That's definitely not something you want to see. You know, some races are like that. You have your ups and your downs, and it's Toast. All right, so we all want to watch Alan Toast. Let's go check on Mr. Alan Toast. Briefly after the race, we'll have post-race interviews coming up next. Talk to the drivers. So we sat on him for a little bit. Let's go check on some others. There's not much left to sit on, but looks like Fimo having more issues? Like, what's going on? He must just be having a bad race. I surely don't know, but looks like ESV Barcode is finally caught up to Turismo. So we do have a battle brewing here with 5 to go, and Barcode get another position, maybe 2 with some help along the way, who knows? Barcode get to Turismo. That's the big story here. I think he's going to get to him. I think with about 3 to go, I think he'll be there, if not at least close. We saw the last time they got with one another, they were having a few different laps together where Barcode was right behind him, just couldn't get by him. So as that's going on, Dr. Quinn having some problems, it looks like. Maybe not. Yeah, just laid because they were in the chicane. There is a battle for the 13th spot between Fimo and Alan Toast. Fimo involved in a little bit of a scuffle earlier with Supreme. And Alan tried to defend it, but man, did he get a run on the crossover. As we get William back in here, we're going to see if William will show back up to ride along with us for the last few laps before our interviews. And it's been a pretty good race for the most of it. A lot of different things that happened. Just it definitely spread out. You know, this season it has a lot of power tracks in them, and we do expect the field to spread out. But it's there's been these little battles all over the racetrack. As William pops back in, and William, just make sure that your audio's on. And
Yeah, it's on.
you know, William, we've gone through almost the entire race. We've got a few laps left as Forza Europa's crossed the start-finish line. As we sit on this battle for 13th and 14th for a little bit longer, and talk about an event and just something that I think all of us are going to remember for a very long time here at MEA. Yes.
I've just been talking with the rest of them, you know, it looks amazing, you know, it's amazing how everybody's come together to organise this and to make it happen. You guys have made this happen, you know. Like the collaboration between the clubs and the drivers, you know, it's very honourable. Very nice.
Well, you know, as much as you guys are thanking us, we always have to go back and thank you guys. You guys were just as much a part of putting this together as we were. You know, with all the information and just everything you guys have been willing to help us with to prepare for just the entire show tonight. You know, you guys should be giving yourselves a pat on the back for this, because you know, it meant a lot to us to have you guys be a part of every bit of this. And I know the family's watching in the chat, and I just hope you guys know that Yuna will always be somebody that MEA remembers, that I will remember. Anytime I see a prototype, that whatever prototype we host here at MEA, I will always think of Yuna. Again, you know, we talked about it, William, about those last-minute join-ins, and he was good at that, and I'll always be looking at the screen. Is Yuna going to pop in any second? But just a guy that everyone enjoyed. That's what he always said that, too. He always said that. Better late than never, and, you know, it's just something that... just something that you just won't forget. And it's just like Viper said, you know, the old bean and all that good stuff, that those little things that you cherish for the rest of your life. He will be missed. We will miss him here at MEA. I definitely feel for him, his family, all you guys, and just thank you for being part of what we did here tonight, and what you guys have done as well. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have one lap to go. Forza Europa, your race leader, as the white flag raises, and boy, oh boy, I think tonight not only does any of these other drivers win it, but I think Yuna wins with them tonight. You know, I've been looking at this race, and I've just seen every car, and every time I look at it, I want to give my hats off to FDR Wheels for doing this. You know, originally we were just going to run the 90s, the number on the car, and you know, he put this together, and then everyone put it on, and I'm just seeing Yuna out there,
awesome.
and
That's awesome.
it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, the pace lap, I had goosebumps the whole way around, you know, from start to finish.
Honestly, from the replay point of view, it was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys are so far ahead of the other pack. It just, you guys see yourselves out there. You see his son out there in that green car, which honestly, I'm so glad he kind of had a different car, because it really.
Yeah, we were saying the same.
it sparked a lot of jitters inside me, and I was really, it's like, wow, that's so cool. And Europa's coming around the final few turns here.
Been a night to remember.
I see you in there, Maniac. We're glad to have you here, and
massive thank you to you guys for everything you've done. It's been, and all the drivers, tremendous. Thank you so much.
And at Forza Europa comes across the finish line. He is your Week 2 winner here at Monza. And I tell you what, I also want to thank you, Maniac, for putting together that C9 scheme, being out there as the honorary pace car, and I'm sure that was in some ways tough, but you know, it's just great to have you guys there.
It was great to be part of it. We're having a UK drive out for Yuna tomorrow night, so anybody's more than welcome. 7 o'clock UK time.
And you guys hear that tomorrow? You said 7 p.m. UK time?
That's correct, yeah.
All right. And AMS Turismo got edged by ESV Barcode. I know that battle was brewing, guys, and a little sidetrack there, but Barcode was able to get it done. Moshi's is going to bring it home 6th. 7th is going to be SMXJ Yankee. He comes across the line finally. Brentwood, you know, he's been able to hang on with Savitar and Dr. Quinn, and you know, we talked about it. Brentwood was one of the original, or was a former driver of FVR. He'll bring home a top 10 with Yuna alongside him. Savitar, 9th, 10th, we DBO Dr. Quinn, and then a very, very tough race for AMS Supreme after an incident with Fimo. Not sure what happened to that. FVR Willow, guys, one of your very own out there in the honor as an honoree, and you know, he didn't really get much to say, but didn't have much to say when I brought it up to him. But you know, Willow wanted to race in this for Yuna, and that's really cool that we at least had a couple of you guys out there with him and his and Yuna's son.
Yeah, he wanted to do that with FPL Willow. Hands down, you know, as soon as it was mentioned today, I'm going to be there and definitely do that for Yuna. Like I say, you know, Yuna. They were beside me building the club. Yeah, get FBR to where we're at today and form the squad.
And it's, you know, it's very much touching for everybody that has known him, been a part with him, and it's just been a touching day. And
yeah, definitely.
As we get these guys almost to the end here, it's Mr. Alan Toasty and Fimo, but it looks like Alan Toasty will stay, or I keep saying Toasty, but it's Mr. Alan Toast. He's going to come home 13th with Fimo, trying to get to the outside, but he's just not going to be able to do it in the 14th spot. Post-race interviews coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, with the top 5, as that one will wrap up today's race, and we will get the drivers in here momentarily, as honestly, that ran a lot smoother than I thought. We've been very fortunate these last handful of weeks with Forza saying, hey, we're going to let you race without any real problems before the race, which is always nice. And there we go. All right, so we do got the final results, as we're going to bring these top 5 in. We're going to talk to Europa, Tsunami, Viper, Barcode, and Turismo. As let's see if we can get everyone in here. And obviously, what a drive back for Barcode after such a long race for him. You just got to wonder what had happened up to that point. It was at the point where they were passing Fear Ghost, and just something happened. And sometimes those things are, you know, not expected. But we'll hear from him momentarily, and we'll get Europa, your race winner, in here as well. So let's get these guys in here. We got Viper and Tsunami so far. We'll see if Barcode shows up. I hope he does. Last week I had to kind of bug him about it. And well, we're going to start with Turismo if he shows up. If not, we'll have to jump the Barcode, because or Viper, because Barcode's not in here yet. Adam, can you try to get the other guys in here real quick before we start? Or Europa's in here now, so that's good. As we pull up the final results here. And once again, to everyone that's been watching since the start of this one, we want to thank you all for being a part of tonight's events. It means a lot to the family. It means a lot to us and all of his friends. As we get ready to wrap this one up here, and so the only person we are missing is Barcode. But with that being said, to everyone that's already in here, we're going to get started on the interview process. And remember, guys, keep it PG, please. Turismo, we're going to stop with the fifth place finisher, AMS Turismo. Turismo, last week, and make sure you guys got your audio checked off. I didn't say it yet. But last week, Turismo, you were involved in a little bit of an accident early on. Ended up having to get out of the race early. Just things did not go your way last week. You come into this week a little bit better scenario at the beginning of the race. Not only that, you get a top 5 finish, and you duked it out with so many different people throughout the race that it seemed like your race was a lot more eventful than most. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, I had a really fun race. Last week I felt like I had a lot of pace, and that incident was unfortunate, but it happens, it's racing. This week I think I didn't have the ceiling that I had last week, because I'm not nearly as experienced here as I am at Le Mans. But I think, given like that being said, I had a really good race, and I had some really clean battling. Good battling with Viper, and some really good battling with Barcode. Not just at the midpoint in the race, I think right before we pit, but then near the end of the race, I made a few mistakes, and he caught me, and we went through that whole last lap too wide. I lost to him by 2 feet at the finish line, but that was such a great battle. I'm going to remember that one.
And, you know, unfortunately, we didn't get onto that. We were in the middle going through everything, and I look back and I said, oh, my gosh, Barcode just got by him. You know, Turismo, there was, and you know, it's, you know, at the beginning of the race, you were with your teammates, Tsunami and Supreme, and it seemed like from in there, you guys might have been able to push the limits, but some little hiccups here and there just weren't in your guys' favor. How fun was that to run with your teammates like that?
That was pretty fun, especially because they qualified the row ahead of me as well, and I was able to catch up to them through consistency at the start, and I tried to play the team game a little bit, you know, just work together with the draft. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of aero wash at one point. It's hard to control, and that played into Supreme going off. But I think I gotta congratulate Tsunami for like the great drive he had, and also Europa and Viper as well. They all moved up, and Barcode had a great late race with me at the end. So, fun event.
Well, we appreciate you saying such nice words about everybody that you were competing against, because you know, it's always hard sometimes to race a certain race and things don't go your way. But when you have those great moments running along with teammates or other drivers, it's always cool to, you know, live those moments. But you know, your first top 5 of the season, Turismo, a lot more still to come. We still got 4 races to go. Do you feel that this is going to give you momentum going into the next week?
Oh, definitely. And I think there are a couple of tracks later on the calendar that I'm going to be more familiar with, and maybe be able to fight for podiums. I was in a 3rd place spot here at one point, but I didn't have the consistent pace to stay there. And I'm hoping to bag a podium or 2 later in the season.
Well, congratulations on a top 5, and we look forward to seeing how you produce throughout the rest of the series.
Thank you.
And that was AMS Turismo, ladies and gentlemen, 5th overall. The man that won last week, ESV Barcode, I don't see him here. I don't think he's going to be here now, at least from my knowledge. Finishing 4th after a really tough race. Not sure what had happened, if he got squiggly early on, but I'm sure someone above will be able to tell us that. But finishing 4th overall, fastest in qualifying, not a bad day. A lot of racing for him still to come. Moving up the ladder to ESV Viper, his teammate. Viper, you know, we talked about last week and what could have been for you, but you came into the night race, and it seemed like a lot more went your way. A couple little hiccups, but you battled your way back into the top 3. It's not a bad night.
bad night at all. You know, in the first half of the race, didn't go as planned. Too many mistakes were made, and maybe a little fortunate, maybe to stand at E3 podium. But I guess it's a little redemption from last week. But I want to say I think if I didn't have those issues at the start, I could be about that tsunami. I think Europe was just on another level. He ran a really good race, but you know, on the whole, yeah, not too bad.
And obviously, you know, you battled with some of your teammates out there and other drivers, but nonetheless, you can't be upset about this result. Going into the rest of the series, I'm sure you're looking forward to, you know, getting focused in and having opportunities to win races. But tonight, it seemed like you were a lot better off than last week, so I'm sure you're happy with that result.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, you're just happy to at least got the result this week as I should have done last week, so it's a good recovery. Obviously gives the momentum push obviously to go into the rest of the season, you know, battling with the likes of all the AMS boys and Europa and obviously my teammates as well, so, you know, gives me the strength and the feed to continue and push forward in a class that I'm not really enamored to it.
Well, congratulations, Viper, on a good finish here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the series as well.
Thank you, and I just wanted to say, just before we move on to, I hope Paul enjoyed watching that back. I hope he was looking down watching that.
Well, I think he was riding along with every single one of you tonight, and it was awesome to see everybody running that scheme, and not only that, his son being in a different scheme, obviously that was nice as well. It was an awesome night for sure.
Indeed.
But so that was ESV Viper, ladies and gentlemen, third overall, up the ladder, finishing second this week, getting a little bit further up in the standings at the end of these races. It's AMS Tsunami, and Tsunami, you went from 15th to a top 5 last week, and tonight you said, hey, I'm going to go for it, but Europa just was a little too far ahead for you to be right with him, but you got to be happy with tonight's performance.
Yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the race today. P2 was pretty good. It was a fun week getting the car ready, and I really enjoyed Monza, so it was a lot of fun. Early in the race there, when Barcode got a little squiggly in Ascari, I had to go wide to avoid. I wasn't sure where he was in the smoke screen. I got myself in the sand and I gave up about 1,000 feet. And I think if I had a chance to redo that one, go the opposite way and stay on track, I think I could have stayed right there with Europa and get pushed down the straightaways. But like Viper said, he was in another league today. He was just so fast. But overall, good race.
And you know, you got to run with some of your teammates there too, and you had to fight for it. I mean, it wasn't just given to you. I mean, you fought for every bit of that, and that must have been nerve-wracking because you just never want to get into a bad position with your teammates when you're racing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was really cool to see early on in the race running, you know, what was it? I think 2, 3, and 4 at the time, or 3, 4, and 5, something like that. And it was really nice to get in that train, but just a little, the aero wash on the cars, they're very aero sensitive. And some of those corners, a little squiggle there. I just decided to go for it and push through and just try to get up in front of the pack, and was hoping to get to pull a train, but didn't quite work out that way. But yeah, still very happy with the race.
Well, congratulations, Tsunami, on a top 5 finish, and not only that, runner-up. And I know that you're going to do everything you can to try to get that win this season, but you definitely got the pace. You just got to put it all together. But nonetheless, congratulations tonight as we see you progress throughout the event.
Cheers. Thank you.
And that was AMS Tsunami, ladies and gentlemen, second overall. Big day for him, and the man of the hour, Forza Europa, not able to squeak out the qualifying just yet, but able to get that win. And honestly, Europa, it's a big win for you because not only did you take over the lead and secure it, Barcode also finished back a few spots. Definitely going to help you in the championship.
Yeah, it's always good to be leading the championship. I definitely still need to work on qualifying. I was a bit compromised where I had to do the early qualifying this week. Wasn't really prepared, didn't have the tune ready. Really scruffy execution as well, didn't get a good lap. And yeah, a couple hours before this race I managed to get it together. I still wasn't completely happy, but once I got in the race lobby, the car felt incredible. I was able to sit behind Barcode really easily at the start, put him under a lot of pressure. Had a couple of looks into the Lesmos, but no real way past there. And yeah, Barcode looked like he was really struggling for rear grip, so I was able.
You know, from your point of view, that how sketchy is that for you to be behind it when it all happens, or were you in front at that point?
I was in front. I was. Barker got really. He was struggling through Ascari every lap, and I got a good run on him down the back straight into Parabolica. He kind of went a little bit wide in the Parabolica, and I was able to get one side and into Curva Grande, and slipped up the inside into the and held the racing line into the chicane. And then I think it was that same lap afterwards. I didn't really find that he was taking any air off the back of my car, which was a pleasant surprise. But I don't know. That same lap, he went straight off into the sand on the exit of Ascari. I was thankful that my car was handling well through there, because I honestly was expecting it to be a bit of a death trap, to be honest.
And obviously we've seen a lot of different drivers today struggle, not just there, but quite a bit all over the racetrack. So definitely something to keep an eye on throughout the series. We saw a lot of it last week. We saw a little bit of this week. So it looks like that is going to be a problem throughout the series for many of the drivers. But Europa, you were a class of your own today. You stayed out of harm's way. Just congratulations on your win for the first time this season. Maybe a couple more to come, but we know that you're going to be working hard to battle with Barcode and some other drivers throughout this championship, but congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
And that was Forza Europa, number 1 overall today, taking the win here at Monza. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for today's race. First and foremost, congratulations to all the drivers competing today. Not only that, thank you to every driver that showed up today, representing not just the 90, but taking the tribute paint that was made for FVR Yuna. I know some of you guys might have not known him. I know some of you did know him, and obviously we've had many people watching who were very close, family, friends, who really do appreciate you guys stepping up to the plate and honoring somebody that had recently passed away, that meant a lot to other people. I just gotta say that was an awesome scene from a gaming standpoint. It's going to be really cool to look back on that. And appreciate the family for showing up today. I know we started the show a little early today, and that was to look back on Yuna, Paul Doherty, his wife, his kids, his friends, and wanted to give a big shout out to Robert, his son, who competed for a good majority of the race, did the best he could, and it was really cool to see him out there honoring his father as well. So just a big shout out to everybody involved today. If I forgot anybody, I do apologize. There was a lot of people within this week just putting it all together, so thank you so much to everybody. With that being said, that's a wrap here for week number 2 of the MEA Prototype Challenge here at Monza. Forza Europa, your race winner. As we say so long, good night, and we want to say to a very special someone, FVR Yuna, your thoughts are with us. We pray for all of you that are family and friends who are going through this tough time. He was with us tonight. He was with us on every car tonight, and he won this race alone, and I appreciate everyone that was involved within it. My name is Steve, also known as SSR Mayhem. Thank you all for watching, and good night.